that we are already passing by. Beside it is our bank, the yellow building with the darker brown paint. If you look on the darker brown paint, you're going to see some designs. Those are Mayan designs. And that is our central bank of Belize. And in one of those vaults is where the jade head is kept. And the jade head is found right here within the country of Belize and right at the site that you all are visiting today. At the site of Alton. It's kept there in the bank and it's kept under security protection. So only time that jade head comes out on display is when other diplomats would come to our country. So it has a lot of security. As we drive through the city area here, you're going to see that the streets are very narrow. These streets here were once built for horse and carriages or mules and carts. Also driving through the city area here within our country, you're not going to see many traffic lights within the city. So within the city area here, we have about 3 sets of traffic lights. So how do we regulate our traffic? Speed bumps will pass over one in just a few. We pass around a turntable or roundabout. That's how we regulate our traffic. This stretch of road that we were once driving on at this time was once the Caribbean. All of this, to where those boats are on the driver hand side, was once the Caribbean. Tourism is one of our most fast growing industry within our country here. So what the government do, he reclaim this area, those streets, so buses and cars can do tours along the area. Also driving through the city or within the entire country of Belize, there aren't any zoning laws. Meaning, we build what we can afford within the city or within the entire country. So beside a hole could have a bar. That's how it is here within our entire country. So we're now overlooking the beautiful Caribbean Sea that you came in earlier today. You're hearing me all the way to the back? Yes. All right. So English is our first language spoken here, Spanish is the second, and then we have other dialects. So before the day is over, you're going to learn our dialect, right? Over here on the driver hand side, this is another one of our embassies that we are passing. Behind this fence, the blue and white building, and that is the Mexican embassy. And they displayed both Belize and Mexican culture. I forgot to mention lunch is included in your tour. Also have with lunch, right? Okay. Coming up, we will be passing a white and zigzagged fence here on the driver hand side. Behind that fence is the Melbourne cricket field. Cricket, my friends, is no longer played in the city of Belize. Cricket is played in small rural villages. Due to the dialect we speak, we don't say football, we don't say soccer, we say football, right? It's the same sport. Over here on the passenger hand side is another one of our 5-star hotels within the chains of hotels. It's the Princess Ramada and Casino. Driving through the city area here, not going to see no skyscrapers. The tallest building you will see is here on the driver hand side all the way to the back, the brown and white building, and that is more of a condominium style building. So no skyscrapers here within our country. In just a few, we will be passing a park, and it's the BTL park. That is the dominant phone company, the main phone company. They does the upkeep of this park. But this area is also important as well. This same stretch of road that we are currently driving on. Mr. Charles Lindbergh landed the Spirit of St. Louis in the year 1927. There's a little replica of the plane right here on the passenger hand side. Spirit of St. Louis. So this area was once known as Lindbergh Landing that we are driving on at this time. So driving through this side of the city, you see bars, you're going to see nightclubs to this side of the city area that we are currently driving through at this time. We also have a phone company located to to the side of the city that does customer service for both track, phone, and a neck tent. Right over here on the driver hand side is called White and Gray Building. That is a company that does customer service for both track, phone, and neck tent. So we have a lot of telemarketers here as well within our country of Belize. Over here on the passenger hand side, the white cement building, that is our fisherman cooperative area. And what they do, they regulate the fishing of our marine product. With our marine product, it has an open and a closed season. When the season is closed, no longer fish for that particular marine product. Caught fishing, you can be charged a fine or imprisonment here within our country. Again, the Caribbean Sea. If you look through your windows, you're going to see some dark green patches. Those are not the keys, it's called drowned keys. Nothing is out there, it's mainly habitat for birds and fishes. The keys are more farther out. Either by boat or plane you can go to the keys. Driving through the city area here, ladies and gentlemen, the city is divided into two portions. The north and the south side of the city. We're currently driving through the north side of the city, and we're currently driving through Kings Park area. No kings, no queens live within this area. You notice it's pretty large homes, it has burglar bars, colorful paint. We don't have a specific color that we use to paint our homes. Whatever color we like, we paint it. So within this area, it's mainly the upper or the wealthier class of people live within this area. Farmer politicians, doctors, attorney at laws, and so forth. Those are the people that live within this area, not myself or your driving license. The homes are a little bit pricey here to the side of the city. Burglar bars, it not only serves as a decoration purpose, but what it serves as a hurricane protection. That is the only devastating weather we have here, which is hurricane. We'll cut a piece of plywood, slide it between the burglar bars, not to bore holes in the walls of the home. The driver hand side is purple and white building. That is the dominant phone company, Belize Telemedia Limited. We move over to the passenger hand side, and behind this yellow and white fence is the Marion Jones Sporting Complex. Miss Marion Jones, when she ran the Sydney Olympics, she had two flags, the Belize and the US flag. Both of her parents are Belizean, so we named the stadium after her. Two other sports that we played within the stadium are track and field and cycling. The sign up ahead that says traffic air cargo, that stretch of road will take you to a small airplane company that you can go by to the keys. We keep on the passenger hand side, and behind the blue and white fence is the only all-boys school here within the entire country of Belize. And that is the St. John's College. Behind it is the junior college, or we would say the sixth form area. So driving through this north side of the city, many schools are located to this north side of the city. As we cross over this speed bump, we will be passing one of our universities right over here, the bright and yellow blue Trinity building, and that is on the passenger hand side. That is our University of the West Indies, where we can obtain a degree as a law student. We keep on the passenger hand side, and behind this green and yellow fence, you see some colorful letters. It says Edward Percival York High School, and that high school is a co-ed high school. Beside it is another co-ed high school located as well, the yellow and white trimming building. In front, you see the sign that says Nazarene. Where that sign is the church. So all our schools are run by a church-based system. Roman Catholic is our main denomination here, but we have other denominations that makes up our country. Jehovah's Witness, Anglican, Mormon, Methodist, Baptist, and so forth. As we make a turn here, we will be passing one of our public hospitals located to this side of the city. And it's coming up in just a few. It's located on the driver hand side, the pink and brown trimming building, and that is the Carl Huster Memorial Hospital. That hospital was named after a German doctor. So he used to do in-home service delivering babies here within the country of Belize. And when he died, we named the hospital after him. Beside it, the green and white building, that is our Social Security Board. Collect all our benefits within that area. Retirement, sick, maternity, and so forth. So we'll move over now to the passenger hand side, and we will be passing the second all-girls school here within the entire country of Belize. The tall green building, and that is the Palote High School, and it's run by the Palotine sisters. Across from it, on the driver hand side, the tall green building, that is a polyclinic, the Cleopatra White Polyclinic. So any minor injuries, we can go there as well. We make a turn here. This is one of the major highways that we are driving on that connects us within the entire country. This highway was once known as the Northern Highway. We recently changed its name to the Philip Bolton Highway. So not only the highway named after him, he was one of our great benefactors here within the country of Belize. We have our international airport as well that named the same name. Before continuing talking, I have with me just part of the company policy and procedures. As you all know, safety is our number one priority. Due to a dialect we speak, which is called Creole, instead of saying pull the bridge from one side to another, we say haul the bridge from one side to another. Why we haul that bridge? Mahogany was one of our main export industries. We used to export mahogany right down this river, taking it to the city. We tie the mahogany wood to the back of a small boat, which is called a canoe, taking it down, floating it down to the river. This river that you're looking at is the Old Belize River. This river is 180 miles long. It starts off from the western part of the country and empties out into the Caribbean Sea. So this bridge that we are crossing over at this time, this village that we are passing through at this time is the Ladyville Village. This is one of the largest rural villages here within the country of Belize. It has a population a little over 4,000 people within this rural village. Within this village, it has our factories, our international airport, banks, restaurants, a shopping area within this village as well. The river that you're looking at, the Old Belize River, sometimes it says it's towards River Wallace. Why? Because we had a Spanish buccaneer by the name of Mr. Peter Wallace sitting down at the foot of the river. Tourist stated, BS, my version, basic speculation, stated how Belize got its name. They say according to basic speculation due to mispronunciation of the word. Wallace to Vallis to Vallis, then to Belize. Just basic speculation. You would say BS, right? Yeah. We know that's what it is, right? So along that river, a lot of beautiful wildlife you can see along that river. We're not doing a river tour, we're doing the city tour. You see the beautiful side of the city, the country area, and you're going to go to a beautiful place called Alton Highway. So driving along this highway, you're going to see all paved flatlands. You're not going to see any hills or mountains within this highway. Also, 30% of our country is still under natural vegetation. So you're going to see a lot of trees, grass, and so forth along this highway. No hills or mountains to this side of our country of Belize. We have to drive on the other highway for us to see hills or mountains. That's to the western part of our country. Our country, ladies and gentlemen, is bordered north by Mexico, west and south by Guatemala, and east by the Caribbean Sea. So one of the main reasons why you have to be 8,000 people in the entire country. Our country Belize, it has a square mile of 8,867 square miles, 168 miles long from north to south, east to west, 68 miles wide. With over 200 offshore keys. One of the most famous keys, Madonna made a song off of it. La Isla Bonita San Pedro. Anybody familiar with that song? I'm not good with the singing, right? It's awful. As best I talk, right? It's a beautiful day. I don't want to ruin it for us, right? So over here on the driver hand side, the yellow and red top building, that's the Vocational Institute located within the city area here. As I mentioned earlier, completing 8 years at the primary school level, we've been given an exam that we must pass to go to the high school. Don't pass that exam to attend a vocational institute like this one on the driver hand side, where you can learn a trade, right? So here is one set of traffic lights that we are passing through at this time. Usually we say when you see a traffic light, that's the highlight of the tour, right? Not much you see. So this is one.